Hi there, I'm Dr. Christina Flores, a coach with Complete College America, here to help you understand the function and purpose of the readiness assessment for the colleges who are going to be building co-requisite supports for their math and or English students. While this is a pre-recorded message, please know that we are all available in real time via email, phone, and or for a meeting to help your team work through the readiness assessment. It's important to know that this assessment is for you and your team as you reflect and prepare for the work ahead, creating co-requisite courses for math and or English students. Complete College America, UNCF, Strong Start to Finish, and any partnering organizations will not receive a copy of your readiness assessment. The only folks that will be looking at it are your team and your coach as you plan for the future. So please take this as an opportunity to reflect and plan and know that your information is safe with you and your coach and will be used just for you. We also understand that everybody is operating in different contexts, so we tried to make this readiness assessment as broad and open as possible, but please know that your coach is able to refine it or change it if it doesn't meet your needs. Again, this is a tool for you and your team to use to monitor your planning and success as you implement co-requisite courses. So we are here to modify if necessary and to support as you work through it. I'm going to share screen and walk you through the first three parts of the readiness assessment. In the next video, we'll go through the metrics workbook as well. So give me a second to share screen and we'll get going. Okay, hopefully you can see on your screen the Complete College America co-requisite support for math and or English students readiness assessment. On the first page, we have information about the project and the goal. The primary purpose of these tools is to provide college teams with information that will help them engage in meaningful reflection on their goals and seed ideas about next steps. As you work through this project, you can return to this assessment to measure your progress towards your co-requisite implementation over time. In the packet, there are 4 parts. The first 3 allow you to reflect on where you are in the planning and or early implement stages of co-requisite support. The fourth part describes the type of data that will be helpful to understand the context in which you're operating, the opportunities that exist to improve outcomes for your students, and then to measure your progress as the project goes along. I encourage you to read through the background section and also understand that there are several resources available to you to help understand why co-requisite support may be a viable solution for some of your students. On the second page of the readiness assessment is a broad time frame. Our goal this semester, the fall 2025 semester, is to create a white paper that makes the case for co-requisite support at your institution using data and ideas that are seeded as a part of this learning community. Please work with your coach on the dates on these timelines. Again, as you meet, it's the beginning of the semester. We know it's a busy time, and so good communication with your coach can help us adjust this timeline as needed. Also on the second page are your contacts. We will be creating a learning community. You'll get to know each other at the different institutions, and so you can see here who is on the institution lead, as well as who's coaching each college. Along with a CCA coach, each college has a UNCF program manager as well. So we're all here to work as a team to help you prepare for and complete the readiness assessment. The information in this assessment and the content was created specifically for this learning community, but through a lot of work that's already been done by both Strong Start to Finish and Complete College America. If you'd like to see the resources that are a part of their co-requisite work, you can use the links at the bottom of this page to learn more about where this readiness assessment evolved from. So in the first part, you're going to be asked to think about what you already have in place at your college that can prepare you or is preparing you to begin the project implementing co-requisite supports for math and or English students. The document you will be receiving is a Microsoft Word document, and so you can click and type in your responses after each one of these items. You may not have thought about these at all, and in that case, that's okay, and you can just simply put that this item is not applicable to you or your team or your institution. However, we encourage you to think on these and give as much information and as much context as possible so that your coach and the learning community team can help you move the project forward. Part 1 has 2 pages, and it has the opportunity for you on the second page to just mark some of the items that you have in place that will help you as you start planning for a co-requisite implementation. We're also interested in the last item, which is other student success initiatives on your campus. This will help your coach tailor the response and your plan to make sure that all of the other efforts that are going on work well with this project. Part 2 actually asks you to think about where you are implementing some of these items. Now, it's perfectly reasonable if everybody marks 1 or 2 at the beginning of this project. We do have some colleges that have done co-requisite support for coursework before, and so they may be further along. But the goal of part 2 is to be able to come back after a year, after 18 months, and see if you've moved forward in any of these areas. So we'd like you to consider a 5-point scale. 5 indicates that you've completely implemented the action described, meaning that it's systematic, it is sustained, and anybody who we stopped on campus would be able to say, yes, this is something our institution does. A 4 indicates that you've mostly implemented this action. This means that it's taking root, it's maybe past a pilot stage, there's professional development going on, and folks are starting to understand this is going on, including students. Item 3 means you're working on it. The implementation plan is in place. You've got some parts moving. You've got a team in action. You've got a timeline for when you can expect this to be completed, and you're actively working on it. Item 2 means that you've discussed this as an institution, and it's an action that you are interested in doing, and you've not started it yet, and maybe you're at the very beginning planning stages, but you're in agreement that this is a direction that you would like to go. And a 1 indicates that you actually don't plan to do this action. This is not something that's going to be part of your student success efforts, and so it is not something you plan to do. Now, we are a learning community. Everybody is going to be in a different area for each of these items, and that's absolutely expected. So again, we encourage you to have each team member do this section independently and then come together as a group to see if you can agree on one single institutional rating. But as somebody who's worn a lot of hats at an institution, as a faculty member, an administrator, and a student all at the same institution, we can certainly understand that the perspectives vary depending on the seat in which you're sitting. So we encourage you to use your own lens when you are answering this as an individual team member, and then come together as a community, as an institutional team, and agree on a single rating that you'll submit to your coach that'll help us be able to gauge your early implementation and your ongoing implementation through the project. There are 5 areas that you will consider in this section. The first is leadership support. The second is implementation planning. The third is the course redesign. The fourth is the student experience. And the fifth is student success data. So as you work through each action, consider where you are now. And of course, you'll have an opportunity to vision for the future of where you want to be as we work through this project together and develop a timeline for implementation. The third part is your overall assessment. So once you've had the opportunity to think about those 5 areas and the action items in each one, we encourage you to reflect on one overall phase of implementation that best describes where you are when you're taking this assessment. And you have 4 options from which to choose: exploring, designing, scaling, and refining, all defined and described below. And we'd like you to consider where you are right now and then vision for the future. Where would you like to be at the end of 12 or 18 months as we work together? Certainly, if you are in the exploring phase, it may be unreasonable to expect that you'd get to the whole scaling and refining phase, but we encourage you to at least plan to move one item forward. So like one area forward. And if you feel that you can go further than that, that's great too. This will also help your team and your coach plan for the future. In a separate video, I'm going to be describing part 4, the student success metrics, where you'll have to bring in part of your institutional research team to support you. I want to be able to go through the workbook with that for you separately, but the first 3 parts are something that each individual team member and your team as a whole can complete. When you finished those 3 parts, we encourage you to submit one form with parts 1 through 3 completed to your coach. We'd also ask, as we work through part 4, which we'll talk about in another video, that you contain that data in a secure setting and ensure that you and your coach have an understanding about what type of data you want to share via email or during meetings. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we are all here to help you. And so we encourage you to keep track of the contact information and reach out either to your institutional leads at your learning community peers, to your CCA coach, whether that is me or any of the other coaches that are working directly with you, or your UNCF program manager. So we are excited to get going and learn about where we are and where we can move together as a community so that we support more students who are entering into our colleges, hopefully excited to earn their math and English credits. Thank you for listening to this, and please reach out with any questions to your coach, and we will be looking forward to reviewing the readiness assessment, which will inform the work that we do to prepare webinars and other support for the learning community as we move forward together this year. All right, take care. Good luck at the start of the semester. We're all here for you, and we look forward to talking to y'all soon. Okay, take care.